God damn. I don't know about y'all, man, but that beat. Shit, man, that beat is so fucking hard. No, I made that right. I made the beat, man. Listen, you know, we ain't want to get no YouTube copyright strike, so I had to get back had to get back in the lab, man, making beats again. The streets needed me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here for y'all too. Let's start the show. You know what's up. You know what it is. It's your man, Brandon Carter, a little late, fashionably late. Listen, guys, I ain't gonna make no excuses. I just got a lot of shit going on, man. This ain't the only thing I do. Some motherfuckers podcast. It's the main shit they do all day, man. I've been doing shit all day. Running the business, doing all type of shit. And then Nima showed up at the crib like, oh, fuck, we got the podcast today. That's my workflow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, we got a podcast, but I got it planned out. I know what we're gonna talk about. Listen, all right, guys, man. So this is another episode of the prestigious Victory Talk. All right, and we out here showing you. Hold up, man. I want to show you something. Yeah, Victory Talk. This is the only podcast that shows you how to build your money muscle and your mindset. All right, help you get ripped, rich, and ready for life. You know what I'm talking about? Now listen, you may be thinking, what's going on? King Keto's wearing a shirt with sleeves. Why? Man, because it's cold in Miami, man. It was like 65 degrees today.
Right now. We hit 54 today.
50?
54, yeah.
God damn, man. That's what, when it gets that cold in Miami, like the motherfucking lizards, they fall out of trees and shit, man. It's fucking crazy. They just be like looking dead in the streets. But, you know, I'm not used to the cold, but that's not the main reason. The main reason because I'm fasting. So I'm going to give y'all a little glimpse behind the scenes. All right. So when I do my YouTube shorts, TikToks, the reels, and it's like, damn, Brandon's posting like 3 fucking reels, 3 YouTube shorts a day, 2-3 TikToks a day. This motherfucker never stops. No. It's a secret. It's not what you think. I film all that shit in one day. I film a month's worth of content in one day. So the homie Ryan, he's been on the show before. He's coming through tomorrow. And we filming, I don't know, 100, 120 videos. I got them all planned out. And the day before we do one of those videos, one of those shooting days, I like to fast. So I'm more shredded. I know I might have to take my shirt off. I'm looking ripped in the motherfucking tank tops. You know what I'm saying? My face ain't looking all fat like an emoji. That's where the fat goes on my face, man. It goes in my face first, you know? And so I like to fast before those content days, man, because those videos are gonna live forever and they're gonna get millions of views as usual. And I just want to look my best. Presentation. But I've been doing that shit since back in the day, man. Like when I was filming and editing my own videos, Nima, I was posting twice a day on YouTube. And that's when I had jobs and shit. So how do you do that? You got to fucking bulk film your content. I made a video about this on here somewhere.
Yeah, we posted that actually.
We posted it, you know. And so you bulk film your content. And motherfuckers are like, man, this motherfucker stays ripped all year round. How's he doing? Like, I'm ripped that day. That day I filmed. That shit just was a lot of filming. All right. So that's why I'm wearing a sweater. Long fucking tell you why I'm wearing a sweater. Listen, we got a lot to cover today. We got a lot to get into. All right. But before we do that, gotta have a word from our sponsors. So this episode is sponsored by Thot Repellent. Episode 90 of the episode 90 is sponsored by Thot Repellent. All right. Thot repellent is the easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away. All right, listen, these bitches will fuck your whole shit up if you let them. If you let them, you know what I'm saying? That's how the Bible starts off. Everything was cool. Then that bitch started tripping, saying, Adam, you need to eat that steak, eat that apple. Because she was talking to a snake. That's why bitches shouldn't have guy friends, right? Because that snake gonna be all in her ear, that she gonna come to you with that bullshit. Next thing you know, you eating apple, God punishing you. Moses was a prophet, baby. When he wrote the book of Genesis, man, he was trying to tell you, man, Moses is a prophet, right? So these hoes, they'll fuck your whole shit up. Now, I invented this mostly for y'all. I have a different form of Thot repellent, and it is a lunatic, a lunatic Dominican girlfriend. Straight fucking psycho, right? So all the bitch got to do is look at me for too long, and she's on her fucking, she's trying to attack her and shit. Like, calm your ass down. It's enough Brandon to go around. I'm being selfish. Jokes, right? But Thot repellent, man, this isn't keep them away from you, keep you at bay, man. Not all the girls. So this is, we've been working for, I don't know, what is it, like a year and a half now? Nima?
Yeah, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah, so we got a lot of laboratories involved, a lot of sciences involved, and the reason, because it doesn't repel all women, not everybody with the same amount of chromosomes. It's only the Thots, but not only it works on Thots, just keep the Thots away, not the regular women, just the Thots, because those are the ones going to ruin your life. But it doesn't just work on Thots. It also works on sluts, hoes, slut hoes, stank hoes, tramps, skeezers, scallywags, and Jezebels. It'll work on all of them, right? And that's what we've been working on for so long, right? Because you don't know what kind of science and research went into this, man. There's a lot of science and research, and but we finally got it working. But we still need your help. We still need your help to get this to market. Now we're ready to bring it to market, and it should be here and sooner than you think.
Very soon.
Sooner than you think. However, now I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you there are a few side effects that we're going to Thot repellent. First of all, remember I said it works on sluts, hoes, stank hoes, skeezers, Jezebels, and tramps. Those people might be in your family. So you at your cousin's wedding, right? And his fucking bride starts going into convulsions when you hug her. You found out she was a tramp. You found out she was a slut, man. It might be Thanksgiving dinner. As soon as you come by, man, as soon as you sit at the table, you think you're about to eat, your mom and your sister, man, they start fucking. So that's something you got to be aware of. You don't want any harm to come to them. All right. And it has some other side effects. Nothing is a big deal. That's the biggest deal. The other things are small, but the FDA says we got to mention them. So side effects include, but are not limited to male menopause, kung fu vomit, reverse puberty, Puerto Rican's credit score, farting in Spanish, long back syndrome, violent ejaculations, Dominican fashion, rapid eyelash growth, itchy nipples, Jackie Chan head, red pill rage, negative affirmations, Bluetooth booty, post nut charity, LeBron James hairline, mob ties, the ability to read your own mind, sleep breakdancing, Under Armour shoe collections, kamikaze teardrops, Idris elbow, hyperactive earwax, Gaza Strip poker, tripolar depression, Jada Pinkett fist. Yeah, that's a serious one. Bud Light Lyme disease, Kentucky Fried Chicken pox, the inability to breathe on Tuesdays, and P. Diddy parties. Now, we're gonna need your support because we want to get those side effects down. So just a little more research before we bring it to market, and that's where your super chats come in. All your super chats go to research and development for thought repellent, so we can get this out to the masses. Because listen, guys, every day. No, that was the wrong one. Every day, a baller falls victim to one of these thoughts, right? And you can help with small donation of a super chat. We'll read your super chats, and so you get some altitude. It's a reciprocal relationship, and you get to help out the ballers, right? Now you may be thinking, why I need to help the ballers? Ballers ain't never helped me. Well, first of all, I've been helping you for 10 years straight. All right. But also, listen, you gonna end up being a baller in no time. How do I know that? Because you about to join the Victory Unit Discord, right? That is the sister community to the actual podcast. In the Victory Unit Discord, this is where it's a collection of like-minded individuals, men who are trying to build their money muscle mindsets. There's a few girls in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are homosexuals, and that's cool. Ain't got no problem with that, man. No problem with that, man. WNBA season is gonna start soon. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see them at the games, right? And they're in there, but there's like free game in there. I got free courses on how to build your money, your muscle, and mindset. I have a free course called Baller Mindset. That shit is the shit. Type in the comments if you started or went through the Baller Mindset course. Tell your fellow victinators. That's what we're calling people listening to the podcast. Your fellow victinators, how much you enjoyed that free course, Baller Mindset, right? We're putting some free fitness courses in there soon, and I'm starting next month. I think I'm gonna put a free course in there every other month. I go live in there doing Q&As at least once a month, but I'm probably gonna pump the numbers up, them rookie numbers, man, answering your questions and shit. Come on, man, you got to join that. So once you get all that fucking free game from the Victory Unit Discord, you're gonna need thought repellent, right? But I got another reason you're gonna need thought repellent. It's our second sponsor. Big Money Methods. This is the newsletter put together by me and the homies to help you build your money muscle and mindset. Well, get richer, get stronger, and get better, right? So this is the newsletter that accompanies the podcast, right? You gotta absorb all this information, man, and it's free, right? And twice a week you're gonna get new articles. This is one article, man, about how to rewire your brain for success. This one I wrote recently. We got my man Sean wrote the most powerful AI tools. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Chris wrote the best diet for longevity and success. Come on, man. I write articles in there. All these videos, man, I be making this shit up on top of my head, man. Barely playing this shit 10 years straight, right? But this shit I sat down and I wrote, man. So you definitely want to join the newsletter. It's free. Links in the description. Go ahead and join that now. All right. And now we have some heroes who have already contributed super chats and contributed to Thot Repellent. We want to thank you, brothers, man. Let's acknowledge them before we get into the rest of the podcast.
Sure. We got DeLong, $5, and says, I create these goals and then a week in event to do the average of what I did before seems monumental and overwhelming. How do I overcome this?
You know what? You gotta. So it sounds, Dylan. It sounds like you set goals and you make plans to achieve them, but it seems a little bit overwhelming, right? Because fuck all these shit I gotta do. Dylan, listen to me. You got to start using your calendar, right? I have tons of videos about it. I've seen you here before. You super chat before. I know you watched it. What's happening is you're not using your calendar. Overwhelm, burnout, they don't come from activity. It comes from stress, right? Think about children. Children are playing all day, having a ton of fun, man. They'll go nonstop if you let them, right? They're not stressed out about it. The activity nonstop every day, right? But there's no stress. There's no stress being a fucking kid, right? That's why kids never talking about he's burnt out, or the kids never talking about how he's overwhelmed. It's like, nah, man, ain't no stress, right? Overwhelm comes from stress. And when you don't have shit planned, when you have just all these fucking fuzzy ideas, or even just a to-do list, like I don't even like a to-do list by itself because that's stressful. Like, fuck, how am I going to do all this shit? You start thinking about it. But once you put it in your calendar, everything on the list, and when you're going to do it, and you block out times in the calendar, then it's like manageable. It's like, oh shit, I can attack this. Now I got a game plan to keep you covered in name brand. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start using your calendar, Dylan. I can tell that you're not, or you got other shit in your life that's stressing you. And this is just a reflection of it. Sometimes we don't have business problems. We have life problems that reflect in our businesses. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, let me know. Give me some clarity. But if it's just the fucking task, yo, man, calendar, baby, it's the key to your salvation. All right. And I don't get no fucking kickback from Google Calendar by telling you to do that shit, man. That's free game. Google, I will take the money if you want to start paying me. But they won't, because I've said way too much crazy shit for them to pay me, man, to do anything. What else you got?
All right, we got El Busy back. BBC.
El Busy's back in the house, man, every week, man. This brother's
showing up.
We can make a whole course out of El Busy's questions. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, though.
That's true. BBC, I have a fear of flying. My dad lives in Jamaica.
He has a fear of flying, and he didn't use a lot of punk. Okay. He didn't use a lot of punctuations. He was Russian. He's got a fear of flying. His dad lives in Jamaica.
And I want to surprise him, but I can't fly without meds. And I plan to buy first class ticket because I refuse to fly unless it's first class.
Right.
Any tips I want to be like UG?
Hey, man, listen. So here's the story, man. I as far as fear of flying, it's easy for me to say, hey, just get on a plane. Because I was like the first week I was born, I was on a plane. Here's the thing. My name was almost Damien. So my parents, they were arguing over the name. My mom wanted Brandon because she saw some fucking sexy guy on a soap opera named Brandon. That's why there's no Brandons before me, right? Like I'm the oldest Brandon, you guys know. All the Brandons are around my age, right? Because there was this one guy that all the girls was fucking sitting around pregnant watching that shit on maternity leave. And he was like, ooh, Brandon. He was the man. Legend has it. All right. Anyway, she wanted to name me Brandon. He wanted to name me Damien. I wish he won. Anyway, you know how the story ends. But what happened in between, how my mom won, is she just straight fucking took me to Pittsburgh and wasn't going to bring me back unless my name was Brandon. Because Pittsburgh is where her family lives, right? So I was on a plane like week 1, and they was just calling me the baby for man long. I was just the baby, until my dad tried to go get the birth certificate with the name Damien without her. He's like, fuck was she talking about? And he would try to do it, but they wouldn't let him for whatever reason. Maybe because mom wasn't there and the baby wasn't there, and you can't just make shit up at the courtroom without no evidence that this human exists, right? But yeah. So anyway, I was on a plane since I was a kid, like since like the first few days. So I've acclimated to it. But man, listen, you gotta really think, LBZ, is like, how long are you gonna let that fear hold you back, man? And it's a legit fear because you ain't did it before and you just scared or whatever. And this shit that I'm scared of, my fucking Decepticons, Velociraptors, and the NYPD. Those are like my biggest fears. So I get it. I have some fears too. And but listen, you got that's one you just got to face this one, man. Listen, here's the thing. Everyone listen, this is going to help everybody. The beauty of fear is it gives you an opportunity to be courageous, because you can't be courageous without fear. Like, you need fear to be courageous. If I just want to, like, it doesn't take courage for me to do this podcast. I've been yelling at cameras for over a decade. I just fucking sit down and do it, right? But the first time I filmed myself, the first time I made a YouTube video, like, it was like, oh, what do I want to say? What do I want to fear? And it took courage to do it. Now it doesn't take courage. I just do it, right? Every time you have a fear, now you have an opportunity to build courage, right? You have an opportunity to build that habit. But habits work both ways. Pause. If you see the fear and you cower, then what happens is that's habit forming, right? So like next time you have something you come up against something you're scared of, and it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen for the rest of your life. There's always going to be fear, right? But if you allow this fear to hold you in bondage, then the next time you have to come up against a fear, it's going to be easier for you to quit because you done practiced it, right? Like you get better at whatever you practice. If you don't get on that plane and see Pops in Jamaica, then you are practicing. What's the opposite of fear? Well, I mean, what's the opposite of courage? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's the opposite of courage? Cowardness. Like, you practice being a coward. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to practice being a coward, because the problem with that, you get better at whatever you practice. You're going to be better at being a coward. You know what I'm saying? And if you do something over and over again, you are what Aristotle or one of them Greek motherfuckers. He said, I can't see whatever you're typing. If you're typing. Okay. He said, Aristotle, not Aristotle. That's the clothing brand for fucking teenagers, right? Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. So if you repeatedly act like a coward, and I'm not trying to call you names, it's just like, what's the opposite of courage? Cowardness, right? So if you repeatedly act like a coward, if we are what we repeatedly do, what's that make you, man? But bitch nigga. Well, or coward. Same shit. Same shit. They're synonymous. Bitch nigga, coward, they're synonymous, right? You don't want to be that. I don't think you are that. I think this is opportunity for you to show how courageous you are, how brave you can be. And it's like that for all you guys, all you listeners, all the victinators. When there's something you're scared of, it's beautiful, because that now you have an opportunity to be courageous. You don't have an opportunity to be courageous until there's something to be afraid of. You feel me? So now you have a beautiful opportunity to be courageous. And I suggest you take it, man. I think your Jamaican dad will be really happy to see his boy. What the one? Lord of mercy. It'll be easy, but I don't do a good Jamaican accent. Everybody, I don't do a good Jamaican accent. I got to work on that. Anyway,
Do you want to do more super chat?
Let's do another super chat before we get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Gabriel Gonzalez, $20. What is the best phone?
What's the best phone? I think you should answer that. You're Asian. The phones come from Asia. That wasn't racist. The phones come from Asia.
I mean, iPhones would be the best.
I think iPhones are great. I used to really like the Note, Samsung Note. I had a Note until they started blowing up on fucking aircrafts and shit. But I had a Note. It was dope. It gave you a little pen. You know, I like to draw shit.
And we got Perfect Shop Filming asking average time to get your first client with the high ticket trainer program.
Listen, man, we with the high ticket training program, we do a money back guarantee. So if you don't make your whole investment back within the first 90 days, we refund, right? So not only do you get when you get your first client, the record we have is $50,000. Somebody made $50,000 in 1 month. That was the record. Before that, it was $30,000 in 1 month. But you know, some motherfuckers just get in this shit and they don't fucking work hard, right? So like they're fucking up the average. But our average client makes between $5,000 and $10,000 within the first 90 days. All right. Hey, I got a lot of stuff I want to cover today. And I want to start with some habits that help you. Inside joke. Some habits that help you guys accomplish your goals, man. So that's in the segment we like to call Habits of a Winner. Yo, he just told me, man, we got 8 minutes left till market recap when Romulus come on. Bro, I forgot it was Tuesday. Like the whole time I thought today was Thursday. I've been going all day thinking it was Thursday, bro. That's weird. You know, that's what happens when you start working for yourself, man. You kind of just forget what days a week, man. Because you just enjoy life so much. All right. Yeah. I thought it was Thursday, like straight up. It's all good. It's all good. Tuesday, man. Even better. That means I got a lot more week. I can beat the shit out of fucking 5 more days this week, you know? All right. In this video, I want to give you the 5 lessons that help make me rich and successful. All right. And if you follow these rules, if you learn from these lessons and implement the strategies that I'm about to give you, then you'll be well on your path to success in your own life. If you fuck this up, any one of these can take you down, motherfucker. All right. So take copious notes of the shit I'm about to say to you. All right. I promise you, if you fuck this up, you're going to marry an ugly woman at best. Because all the fucking good. Because hot chicks don't marry losers. And that means you're going to have some ugly kids. Right. And and they ain't going to grow up thinking, Daddy, why am I so ugly? And like, man, because I didn't listen to Brandon Carter in that video. My life got fucked up. The only bitch that would take me was your mama. Her DNA was, I mean, you see her. My DNA didn't fight back hard enough and you came out. You got to work on your personality, son. So let's not let that happen. All right. Let's not let that happen. All right. The first lesson I learned to help make me rich and successful was you actually can't lose if you go 100%, if you go all out. And I feel like when people say they go all out, they win 100%, it's become meaningless. Like people say that, but they don't mean it in its literal form. I mean, all out capacity. When I was struggling and I was trying to come up, I read a lot of books, but one of the books I read was called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And legend has it that was the book that inspired that British chick to write The Secret and make the movie and shit, right? But she left out the most important part of the book. She left in all the fucking magic hocus pocus shit, and she left out the most important part of the book. No less than 50 times in this book did Wallace D. Wattles write in all caps, do all that can be done each day. That's what 100% looks like. That's what's going out. That's what going all out is like. Now listen to the sentence. Do all that can be done each day. That's not working hard. That's not going for it. That's not trying real hard. No. That's doing all that can be done. Right? That's different than just hustling. Because you can hustle and still leave a lot on the field, you know? You can hustle and still leave a lot of success on the table, right? Like it's doing all that can be done, working at capacity. And it's not sometimes, it's not when I feel like it. It's not every once in a while. It's each day. Do all that can be done each day. He wrote it over and over in the book. And I really took that to heart. And what I noticed was that most people, probably you, most people are really trying to see how much they can get away with instead of trying to see how much they can push themselves. Right. And I think that's a problem. You got to go all out 100%. Now, what does that look like? You may be thinking, you may be coming up with a bunch of excuses, right? Oh, I got a bunch of kids. I got fucking 30 kids and I got work and I got school. First of all, I hope your kids never find out about you blaming your inadequacies on them. Hope they never know that that's what you've been doing this whole time. Second of all, is do all you can do each day, right? Somebody may be able to work harder than you because they don't have kids. They didn't have fucking 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. They used a condom. No one told you to go out here having all this unprotected sex with people and shit, but you did it. That's where you are, right? So maybe you have more responsibilities, things you have to take care of, right? That's okay. It's not about doing as much as the other guy is done. It's about doing all that you can do each day, doing all that you can do. So you got your responsibilities, right? You got to do shit with the kids, whatever, your family. You got to clean up. You got to do all the stuff that you got to do, right? I'm not telling you to neglect these things. I'm not telling you to neglect your health. I'm not telling you to neglect your family. But you're not spending all your time doing that, right? There's some other time. There is some other time that you could be allocating towards your goals, and you're not. Most people aren't, right? And how do you know who's not? That motherfucker has left a comment already on this video telling me I can't work that hard. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe, right? It's like, motherfucker, I didn't say you have to work as hard as me or some other guy. I said all you can do each day, because all you can do is all you can do. But are you doing all that you can do? Are you doing all you can do? Even with all the kids, even with all the responsibilities, even with all the fucking shit you got going on that you have to do, are you doing all that you can do each day? Are you really pushing yourself to your limits? And your limits may be different than my limits. And that's okay. Right? Are you pushing yourself? You're probably not. Why aren't you? I know why you're not. But it's the market recap right now. We're going to get into, just hold that thought. We're going to get right back into this right after my trading mentor, Romulus, who's helped me make hundreds of $1,000s since I've known him. Really helped improve my life as far as trading is concerned. He's going to come in here to give the market recap. Let's go. Yo, what up, Romulus? What's going on?
Oh, Brent, it's so good to catch up with you. Let me ask you a question here.
What's up, man?
What do you got? A cold snap down in Miami right now? What's happening there?
It's a little cold, but I'm also fasting. So, like, for whatever reason, when I fast, I get super cold.
Yeah. I get the same damn way. It's like, that's why I try to do it in the summertime, but it's fast season. So
come on, man.
And it's still a little chilly over here too. I hear you on that 100%. Matter of fact, I went and got the blood work done today. The annual, and then she's looking at the last year's test result. She said, look, I know how old you are in real life, but you got the metabolic DNA of a 32-year-old.
Hey.
And trust me, everybody, I'm a hell of a lot older than 32.
Come on. You know what I'm saying?
And some of that fasting, look, I'm glad we don't have to do it every day, of course, but you do. I mean, if you're serious about, like if you're just serious.
Yeah, man, it's helpful. It's a helpful tactic. It's a helpful tool. You know what I'm serious about?
Let's
getting
go.
this money in these markets.
That's exactly right. And I got to tell you something too. If you really want to get down with these markets, if you want to have the market pay you on a consistent basis, please pay attention to your health, your wellness, your longevity. Otherwise, everything you experience on the good side will be taken very quickly from you by guys like me and Brandon, and then you'll think negative thoughts about the market. So don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure you're having every cylinder firing all the time. Let's go to the, as they used to say in the newscast when I was a kid, let's go to the videotape.
Let's get it.
You remember Warner Wolf, right?
No.
You know, I think he was ABC. He was Channel 7 when we were growing up there. He used to say, he was a sports guy. He said, well, let's go to the videotape. And we are on the video. So there's some people out there, Brandon, that unfortunately have not had the tremendous opportunity of learning about what we call technical analysis.
They don't know.
That is looking at charts, looking at price. That's these green and red candles over here, these things that are going up and down, and volume that's down here, price and volume, and all of the magic that can be developed and expanded upon from those two data points, price and volume. I tell you what, I'm so grateful that this was taught to me many years ago, but you don't have to be a technician to understand this. Uptrend, downtrend, downtrend, uptrend.
Yeah.
Uptrend going up, downtrend going down, right? This is it. Okay, so I moved it to a continuous line chart to kind of take away from the noise a little bit. And what we see here for the first time in a while is we got a new high, sell off a little low, and a rally up, doesn't eclipse the previous high, and then the low does eclipse the previous low.
A lower low and a lower high.
So that's a definition.
That's a downtrend.
That's a definition of a downtrend, right? Now, all you bulls, don't all of a sudden, please, for the sake of your families, we don't really care too much about what you're going to do, but your families are important. Don't jump yourselves out of the window or gore yourself on the bull's horn just for this. This may only be a bit of a shorter term anomaly to the longer term uptrend that's been going on for a while. However, it does behoove you. That's right. I used a big word. It's called behoove. You can look it up later. It does behoove you to understand that downtrends start somewhere. I mean, they don't just start from nowhere. They start from somewhere. And this could be the beginning of a downtrend. And again, what Brandon just said is we've got a lower point here, then a rally up. The rally up does not exceed the previous high. And then it went down because we all know things go up and down. But the current down went lower than the previous low. So we've got a lower low and a lower high, and that is a downtrend.
Yes, textbook. Yeah. So we'll see where do you think it's going?
Yeah, well, that's the next point of the conversation. So really, that's the first kind of inkling of a downtrend that we've had since this part of the uptrend got started in late October. So now we'll move it back. We have a little bit more of a bigger visual of what's happening here. And you also note the blue line there. That's just a moving average. Is something kind of keep our signposts in front of us, keep us kind of oriented to which direction we're going and when we want to exit the highway or get back on the highway. That's what these lines are. They help run the directional movement for us. This has been eclipsed to the downside now. That hasn't happened really since over here. You see that at the beginning of the year. And that's what we have to say. And by the way, what I'm looking at is the basket of the big tech stocks. So what you have in here, well, we all know Microsoft because this has been one of the leaders. Matter of fact, Microsoft is now, as of about a week and a half ago, the single most valuable company on planet Earth. Nothing.
Oh, it used to be Apple.
It used, and it's funny you bring that up before I get hit in the head with the falling apple, as Newton says. We're going to talk about Apple before we finish tonight.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll get to that in a minute. How about that?
All right.
We'll get to that one in a minute. So Microsoft now the largest, most valuable company on planet Earth. And that is also trading below this blue line right here. You can see that right there. And it has also been kind of moving slowly in a downtrend type of territory. Then we've got things. There's a few other these big tech stocks out there. There's Meta, which has just been moving sideways. Google's already in somewhat of a bit of a precarious situation, trading below the blue line and the gold line right there. Hasn't happened in conjunction like that for more than just a few months. And then, of course, the big dog right here. And I say big dog because it has the earnings tomorrow. And the entire trading world, the entire Wall Street machine will be in full stop mode tomorrow at 4 p.m., waiting the results of this particular big AI chip producing monster. You see they got hit pretty hard today, down almost 5%. And intraday, it was down quite a bit more than that before.
5%.
Yeah, that's the biggest single day drop in this stock in quite a while. You look back, a fair amount of time, and that might be saying, and then even post market, after the market closed, it went down even further. So it's going to be a bit of a wild scene tomorrow afternoon after the market closes. And anybody's guess as to what happens with this stock. It probably is a little more constructive that it's been down the last couple of days and stalling out, as opposed to going into the earnings with a moonshot of continued nonstop upward action. That's probably a little healthier for the market. But even with that, even with the breather, the pause, the break that it's taken over the last 4 or 5 days, if this company misses their earnings or if they beat the earnings and they say anything other than, yes, we've cured death and we're about to hand out to everybody to get that cure, the stock will come down. And because the entire stock market is so built over the last 4 or 5 months on the back of NVIDIA, on the back of the AI, and on the back of the hype in the tech stocks, this could prove to be somewhat detrimental to the intermediate term picture for the bull market that's been going pretty strong since the middle of October.
That's intense. I own a lot of NVIDIA in my long-term account, so I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I bet you will, along with
I'll be keeping an eye.
Billions of other people will be keeping a close eye on this particular situation tomorrow. Like I said, it's all eyes. There's nothing else really going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nothing else really going on this week that has the significance and the importance in the markets as the NVIDIA earnings. That's, again, tomorrow after the market closes. Okay, so that's the situation. And you can see that the pullback in NVIDIA has encouraged profit-taking in the broader tech space, encouraged profit-taking even a little bit of the small cap stocks dropped almost 1.5% today, the largest percentage drop of the major indexes.
It still looks like a healthy chart to me, but I don't have the same eye as you.
Yeah, it's not, like I said, it hasn't been beat up. We don't see. Go back to the S&P here. I'll move it to the line to get an easier visual on that. Until you get a lower low in the S&P right here, and really this is the low.
Right.
That one right there.
Of the move, yeah.
Yeah, you break that low, and then you break below the 50, which are almost lined up. That would probably put an intermediate term damper on the bull market, and you could move into a situation where the market has to spend weeks or months consolidating, pulling back, and preparing for a possible leg up into fourth quarter of the year.
Yeah,
so that's what you got to watch. This low here, but this one, which is the end of January. No. I'm sorry. End of January. There it is. Yep. End of January. So a couple weeks ago, that's the low you're going to watch. That's the one that's important to keep an eye on. It's right here.
All right.
Okay? That's the one that that'll have the most significant impact. Not this one as much. If it breaks this low right here over hours, days, weeks, or whatever, then you have probably a little bit of a different situation going on. Now, with all that, with the market pulling back the last couple of trading days, with NVIDIA's earnings coming out and a lot of hype, a lot of the expectations are absolutely through the roof with this. The slightest idea that they're not going to continue to generate massive numbers could put that market down. As we get into that, we have a backdrop of interest rates that have broken out. This is the 10-year.
Really?
The yellow line is the ceiling that it had been bumping into for quite a while. We have that. We have oil prices, which are staying around the 200-day and staying somewhat in a little bit of a sloppy uptrend, but still stubbornly high. We got the VIX closing at its second highest point in several months, all the way back here. So when you look at that combined with the tentative situation in the stock market, with the tech stocks possibly showing some weakness, then the market is in a bit of a precarious situation right now. It is. It's in a bit of a precarious situation right now.
So we're all dependent on NVIDIA, is what I'm hearing.
And that's kind of silly. That's crazy. That's really I personally never leave myself in a vulnerable position like that, where I've got my portfolio, my well-being, the health and wellness and financial security of my family is dependent upon a stock. Because you have to keep in mind too that if NVIDIA really hits it the other way, the negative way, the stock market could really get hit tomorrow or Thursday and Friday. And possibly that could lead to a serious situation that could carry on for several weeks, if not months. So that's why, and I never put myself in a position where I'm going to be vulnerable to a situation like that. I'm going to make money either way. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't, you want to hear this? I don't give a shit what happens to NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow night.
We're going to get money either way, man.
Yeah. I'm going to make money either way. Matter of fact, Brandon, you got the note on this one. We talked about this Thursday night, and then we wrote about it Friday morning before the market opened. We showed our Centurions how to take that entire red candle.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Turn $160 put option into $4,000 over the course of about 4 hours.
Yeah, no, that was a good trade, man.
$60 into that's a 6,000% return in only 4 hours. And we spelled it out.
Yeah.
We handed this one to our Centurions in the Victory Unit Legion.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Silver platter.
Yeah, that one was exciting.
On a silver platter. So that's what you're missing, everybody. If you are not a Centurion in the Victory Unit Legion, you missed that.
You know, there's more to come. There's more to come. You know, that's the beauty about being in the Legion, you know.
There's a lot of great things about being in the Legion, especially these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, all right, like we said, NVIDIA tomorrow, there's really nothing else going on for a bit. No more big earnings. I mean,
this is one earnings coming up. There's one earnings coming up. It's
NVIDIA tomorrow. Salesforce will be next week. This is a Dow company. This is February 28th. That's a week from tomorrow. So any Dow company has the potential to move markets, especially a tech-related, AI-related type of a company. So that's a week from tomorrow. You'll see that one coming out. The Fed isn't going to be for several more weeks. As a matter of fact, it's about a month. I think it's the third week of March before they announce. And there were a lot of market participants, the big money players in the third and fourth quarter, even earlier this year, that convinced themselves that the Fed was going to cut rates 5, 6, even 7 times. And now they're starting to wake up to the realization that just ain't going to happen. The reason it ain't going to happen is because oil prices are too high. Go look at the pump. Go look at the prices you're paying. They're more than they were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, no matter where you live in the country. And those higher costs are even right now starting to get passed through the economy, which means everything you're buying is about to get more expensive in a couple of weeks than it was a few months ago. And the Fed will not cut rates in a situation where inflation is already starting to come back. Of course, they have no one but themselves to blame, because in November, December, they were talking so aggressively about rate cutting without the market coming down, without the economy slowing down, without the employment situation pulling back. And the wealth effect kicked right back in, took immediate effect, and the market went back up. The money starts getting passed around, and whoa, that's inflation. And that's what happened in the 70s. And Powell, he keeps talking about not making the mistake of the 70s, and here he is making the mistake of the 70s.
Listen,
but that's what you get from government workers, I suppose.
Hey man, listen, you ain't got we listen. I already know. I was prepared for this because I knew it because I've been listening to you for so long. But can I ask you a question, man? So last week I asked you about Roku, and it was right before earnings.
Yeah.
But they beat their earnings, and then look how much they fell.
So right, and we were talking about Home Depot too.
This is so confusing to me.
People beat their earnings, and the stock went up nothing. It was flat on the day. Roku beat the earnings, and so like I mentioned,
that's a plummet. That Roku shit is crazy.
Yeah, it got its ass handed to it there. You might not want to record that one, Roku. So back to NVIDIA, because here's the thing. They're probably going to beat whatever the official number says on here.
Yeah.
Okay, 20 billion, 4.6 on the earnings. They're probably going to beat that. That's not what keeps the stock, especially in a market, a broad market that has been moving higher, and a stock that has been leading that market movement higher. And the stock itself has obviously been doing a lot of upward movement for several months here. That's not what they're looking for. Like I said, they want to know that not only have they cured death, but they're going to hand that cure out to everybody.
Yeah, you got to beat the shit out your earnings for your shit to go up.
How to turn straw into gold, but you can keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And if you say anything other than yes, Rumpelstiltskin, we will continue to spin the straw into gold, then the stocks get hit, like Roku's case.
Roku went down after earnings 22%. Then it went down another 4% the next day. Yeah. And it beat earnings. Yeah. So it's like I guess that's just kind of market win. Like good is not good enough.
That is the kind of the kind of market that we're in. And you can get stocks that are beat up, that are down tremendously over time, and they'll miss the earnings and the stocks will go up.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's weird.
And you'll think, well, what the hell? I'll show you an example of that. Here's one right here. Intel. A couple of quarters ago. Okay. Here's the earnings. I don't know. It says they beat them, but they're probably there was probably some kind of bad news in here or something, because they've had it for a while. Stock goes, flattens out a bit and then goes on a tear. It's in the right sector. But the other thing is, you can get to a point where the news is then maxed out in terms of the representation in the stock itself. It's called being priced in.
Yeah.
And the maximum good news or the maximum bad news, whichever, is now fully priced in to the stock. And any news that is contrary, so if it's been going up, they're looking for good news. If it's been going down, they're looking for bad news. Mm-hmm. Any news that is contrary to that, even the slightest whiff of it, because in bad news situations, everybody's already sold. Yeah. So I'll give you an example, and don't really talk too much other, because you know what we just did here. Anyway, I'm using this as an example. This is the stock index for China. So FXI is the SPY of China. Just think of it that way. The easiest way to think of it. Okay, it's their Dow Jones, it's their S&P, whatever you want to call it. And this is the representation of that. Now you can look back for several months, even really for almost 3 full years. The stock has been going down.
Yeah.
All right. It's been in a bad downtrend. There's a lot of bad news that is now baked into this group, these stocks, this group of stocks. No one expects. So the other day, I think it was late last week, there was a major money management outfit with a very famous strategist and money manager who said China is uninvestable. And then what happened that day? It went up. It went up. Have you ever heard of companies that are involved in major lawsuits, for example, and all of a sudden they settle the lawsuit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, they got sued. They lost the lawsuit. They settled for billions. But people like us are thinking, yeah, they settled. It's over.
It's over. It's a wrap.
The bad news is out. Now you can see the stock go up.
Yeah.
Or the reverse. In the NVIDIA's case, there really is a lot of risk in this stock. There's a shit ton of risk in this stock because the good news is out. Everybody knows. There's no secret here. Everyone is standing on the same side of the boat with this stock. There's not a single NVIDIA bear on planet Earth.
So it's got to do really well to go. So it can't just beat his earnings. It's got to do really well.
Really well for the stock to continue to go higher over the intermediate term. And it's setting itself up and it's setting the broad market up for a potential pull back because of everything that we just talked about. And by the way, what we talked about is not, oh, buy the stock at 10 in this particular stock, and then you're going to be able to sell it for 15 or 20 in a month or two, which is great, of course. But what we taught you right here, everybody, is critical thinking in terms of human financial psychology. You need to remember this stuff for the rest of your life because it'll be handy for the rest of your life. Don't ever forget what Brandon and I just talked about here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
You know who I think is not priced in, and they have earnings in 2 weeks. Little company out of South Florida called Celsius.
There's the bad boy.
Yeah.
And we like it when it hits the 200-day. What do we say? We say buy.
You said buy it every time it goes to the 200-day, man.
Yeah, that's right. So now we got earnings in a couple of weeks, and it's up. So now it's just a pull. It's a buy and a pullback. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. So if it hits 200, man, if it goes back to that 200-day moving average,
it easily could between now and the earnings also because
it could.
Like I said, if Nvidia upsets the traders and the market pulls back, the S&P falls 1 or 2% over a week or two, the stock could go down quite a bit more before the earnings come out, and that would be an opportunity for people that don't own it to get involved in it.
To get in. Let's go, guys.
Brandon and I have been talking about this for months. When the stock drops near the 200-day, it's a good place. It makes sense to buy it.
If you've been listening to us and you've been doing that with this our stock, they don't pay me. I'll take the money. Believe me, I'll take the money. But they don't pay me, man. We owners. Listen, I got now a few weeks ago you came here talking about XLF, the financial.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you were saying, hey man, it looked like you were right, Romulus. Once again.
What an odd combination there. My name is word right, but here it is. Hit a new high a couple of trading days ago, and the financial sector is still kind of one of those sectors that is catching people, the bigger money players, a little off guard with how they're performing. They're still looking to take money out of tech. They're looking to take money out of communications. They're looking to take money out of the consumer discretionary sector and looking for a place to put it. And finance is still getting some of that money because the stocks, while JP Morgan, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, those types of companies are not trading cheaply in terms of their earnings and their price earnings ratios and those types of metrics, but they're not expensive like an Nvidia and by the way, we will talk about Apple before we wrap up for tonight, and those types of companies. And there's still some room for some possible upside here. And, you get a pullback down to that yellow line right there. And that could be a good place to enter if you're looking for a way to get into that particular basket of stocks.
Yeah, no, I got it in when you mentioned it, man. It's worked out well for me.
You're good.
It's worked out well for me as usual. And it didn't go to all-time highs like the Qs in the S&P 500. So does that mean there's more to go?
No, it doesn't mean one way or another. It
doesn't mean anything. Okay,
an uptrend, and right now that's what's important. And if I owned a bunch of it for every 100 share lot, I'd be selling covered calls on this one because it would be something that I wouldn't look to sell over the very near term.
Okay. And then I also wanted that, the same. I don't know if it's included in XLF, but Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah,
it is. It's the second largest holding. I think it might be the first largest holding in XLF. It's one of the two.
Okay, so I'm dead wrong. I figured it was adjacent to it at least, but in fact, it's the second largest one. Yeah, that stock is doing well, man.
It's doing well, and it's interesting because one of his stocks that he's been accumulating in the last couple of 18 months, and I mean accumulating this is Oxy, a big oil company which has not been doing well, but it's the kind of thing where he's been buying it for 18 months. It's down now. You might think, maybe now's the time to get it. He's going to keep buying it. I mean, Warren Buffett and company, they're going to keep buying the stock. And eventually, they're longer term holders, of course, but eventually that thing goes higher. The next biggest company inside of XLF is JP Morgan, and that hit a new high.
That's been doing fantastic.
That hit a new high earlier today. You got to be careful. You need to be discerning. You need to be picky because the middle size companies, the regional banking stocks, you can see they look so much different than this group.
Yeah,
they look night and day from each other, don't they?
Yeah, so they can potentially pull them down, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. And again, I wouldn't be bottom fishing in this yet. I'd be looking to bottom fish on that if things got much lower. Like it's 48 right now. This is a basket of regional banking stocks. If that got down to the 30s, I might be looking to bottom fish. So quite a bit below where it is now. I wouldn't be touching it here at all.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate that, Romulus. Yo, listen, you guys are doing you and Greg doing a free trader town hall in the Victory Unit Discord on Wednesday, right? Tomorrow.
Well, we do it Wednesdays. There's a little bit of a schedule change because Greg's in Florida.
He is in Florida. I'm gonna see him tomorrow.
He's on a workcation right now, and I'm going to the food pantry tomorrow.
All right.
So it's the season, like you said. It's fasting season. It's kick up the contribution to those that can't kick it up for themselves. So for those who are going to be missing us, and hopefully we'll be missing you too, but we will not be available for the Trader Town Hall.
Not tomorrow. This Wednesday.
We'll make it up. We'll make it up for you. So real quick though, I want to look at Apple.
Apple,
the second most valuable stock in the world, still with a trailing Microsoft a bit. First time it's been below on a closing basis, below the 200-day moving average since all the way back here. That's October. That's somewhat significant. Again, it's not in and of itself. As long as the S&P is holding above this little swing down right here, then the Apple move in and of itself doesn't mean that you gore yourself on the bull's horns and you commit all kinds of suicidal actions. But it is not a bullish situation in here. And this does have the potential to wreck the market. If the institutions really start to get out, remember, they've been long Apple for a really long time. And this is a sea change, with what is happening in this particular stock. This is a sea change. Institutions could be looking to get out of the stock for quite some time to come, and that has the potential to create a problem for the market. Of course, it also has the potential to create a problem for anybody holding Apple.
And they have earnings at the end of next month. This is a while from now.
Yeah, they just had earnings last 2 weeks ago. They beat their earnings, but that, again, that's not it. We keep coming back to that you can beat the earnings all day.
Yeah.
But if the expectations are too high and you can't show the big money players a path to continually beat those constantly raising expectations, then your stock is going to get hit.
That's a fact. All right. Well, listen,
there you go.
Thank you so much, Romulus, man. We always appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys have a great night. Sorry we won't be seeing you tomorrow, but we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go. Hey, I know we got to get back into the lesson that I was teaching you guys, and I'm anxious to get back into, but some heroes have contributed to Thot repellent, and we need with Superchats, and we need to acknowledge the contributions and answer their questions.
Okay. One step. Says.
Good name.
Yes. Brian Carter, how did you deal with you having a girlfriend and having the thoughts trying to snatch you in early 20s? How did you end 20s. It? Shout out to the Victory Unit.
Didn't handle it well, Thanos. To be honest with you, man. Let's see. The problem is Thot repellent didn't exist then. I'd be in a better situation. I could have managed that better. You know what I'm saying? I didn't handle it well. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I've told the story before. You know, I'd be a lot more successful if I was more discriminate with how I spent my time in my 20s, you know. But you live and you learn and you do the best with where you at. You know, that's why I'm trying to help you brothers out, man. That's why all your super chats go for research and development of Thot repellent. We got to get this out in the market, man. Save you, brothers. We got Thanos over here tripping. What else we got?
We got
Pimp Sue Batman.
Yes.
Okay.
Just saying, we need that Thot repellent here.
Yeah, we do. I think we're all in agreement. I think we're all listen. I think a lot of us will echo those same sentiments of Pimp Suit Batman. For sure. All right, let's get back into the habits of a winner, man. Let's run the intro again because that beat I made is hard. You know, I made the beat for market recap too. So just let them hear it one time. Midlife crisis shit, man. I gotta play mine. I'm out here making beats, man. I should be fucking working or doing some other shit, but like, you know, man, the streets need me, man. The streets need me to come back. All right, so we gotta go back to pushing yourself. So before we left, we were talking about going 100%. And what does 100% look like? It's my favorite quote from one of my favorite books. Wallace D. Wattles said in The Science of Getting Rich, do all that can be done each day. And remember, all that can be done, not work hard, not fucking grind, not hustle. It's like all that can be done. Work at capacity, nigga. You know, and when do you do it? Each day. Each day. So it's not sometimes, it's not when I feel like it. It's every day. And really, I want you to really ask yourself. Really ask yourself. Are you doing this? I mean, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. No. Are you trying to do something, or are you doing all that can be done each day? Because if you do this, you will succeed. I promise you. I've never, ever seen somebody do this and fail. I've just never seen it. Maybe there are examples somewhere in human history where, you know, people did that. And, you know, of course, if there's only caveat I would say to that is, you know, things that are, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, things where they're like, there's only one prize, right? Like if there's a boxing match, there's going to be one winner, one loser, right? You know, zero-sum games. But, you know, your success is not a zero-sum game. There's enough success to go around, you know? And some assholes thinking to type in, everybody can't be rich. It won't make sense mathematically. Yeah, but you don't got to worry about that because everybody's not going to do this, right? So the few of us who will do this, there's more than enough resources for us to ball on these haters and flex on these hoes, right? Because there's very few people do that. Now you got to ask yourself, why haven't you? Why haven't you? I'm going to tell you why you haven't. Because you don't believe. You don't believe, right? Because belief, right? Oh, switch the pen color. Okay, no, to take action, right? Action equals results. Right? Action equals the results. You got to take action. That's what do all that can be done. But to take action, you have to believe, man. You have to believe it's possible. And you know, those of you who yeah. I wrote, okay, my fault. You have to believe it's possible, right? And you know, listen. This is a book I read a long time ago. I read the whole thing when I was 16. Cover to cover. It's a big book. It's called the Bible, right? And there's this part in it where like the main character, one of the main characters, Jesus, was saying he was walking on some water, man. Everybody knows about this, right? What you don't know is the disciples. They was in a boat, man, doing fishing or some shit, and they seen Jesus walking on water, strutting. You know what I'm saying? On the water, you know what I'm saying? On the fucking agua. And then they was like, oh shit, Jesus, yo, that's crazy, man. I can't believe you out here walking on water, man. That's crazy, Jesus. And he's like, this is light work. I'm paraphrasing. He was like, this is light work. Hell, man, you can do this too, man. Yo, Peter, man, come walk on this water with me. And then, yo, Peter believed he could do it because the big homie said he could. And in the Bible, it says Peter, regular guy, was walking on the water. Regular fucking guy. He wasn't the son of God. He wasn't born of immaculate conception. He's just a fucking guy. His parents had to fuck for him to get born. He's just a guy like you and me. He was walking the water, but then he got scared like a bitch and then fell in the water. And Jesus had to pick him up after he got scared. Let me get your punk ass up. And Jesus said, yo, man, why did you doubt? Why don't you believe? You know, that's all Jesus was saying. There's another time Jesus was healing motherfuckers, right? He was going around healing people. Boom, you heal. Boom, what's that? Y'all got water? Now that's wine. Yeah, you good, man. Don't even trip. What's that? You know? And And then this dude, he had leprosy. I don't know what the fuck leprosy is, man, but apparently it was some shit niggas used to get in biblical days, and he was all fucking leopard out, and he came up to Jesus. He was like, "Yo, Jesus, man, I got this leprosy, man. You help me out, fam." And Jesus, first thing he said to him was like, "Fam, you believe I can do this?" And dude was like, "Oh, for sure, man. You the jizzle, man. I know you got it. All right, bet." Jesus was like, "Bet. You healed." And then the dude's like, "Oh shit, I ain't got leprosy no more, man. I'm chilling, man. Damn, it's dope not being a leper." And then he was about to strut off, and Jesus was like, hey. Hold up, player. Don't tell nobody I did this. Don't tell nobody I did this. And he was like, "All right, Jesus, I ain't tripping." Right. But the reason he told him that, because what happens when you tell people that you're trying to accomplish your goal? You say, "Oh, I want to be fucking rich and famous." What they do? Laugh. Right. When they tell you all the reasons why you can't do it. Right. What does that do to you? That fucks up your belief. Right. That fucks up your belief. Jesus had to make sure that this motherfucker had some faith for that shit to happen. And then the disciples was like, "Oh shit, Jesus, yo, you killing this fucking healing shit, man. Yo, can we do that?" And Jesus was like, "Psst, for sure. Listen, what you need to do is go out and start healing people just like I did, man. Just heal them, man. Ain't nothing." And they went out trying to heal people, failing and shit. They couldn't heal nobody. They came back to Jesus like, "Yo, Jesus, man, we ain't healed nobody, man. Niggas is still sick in Jerusalem." And then Jesus like, "Hey, man, because you don't believe." He said, "Ye of little faith. If you had the faith of a mustard seed, you'd be able to move mountains." Right? It's all about faith, right? So what does that mean for you? Right? Brandon, why are you talking about the Bible and shit, man? Some of you ain't even Christians or atheists or whatever. And that's cool too. Because it's a collection of fucking stories to prove a point, right? You have to believe it, in order to take the action. And then the results come from the action. However, it's weird because you don't go 100% because you don't believe, right? If you really believed in your soul that you could accomplish something, you would do it, right? Like if I said, "Hey, man, all you got to do is come to Miami tonight, figure it out. Kim Kardashian and all her sisters said they having a dick sucking contest, and they want you to be the judge, man, but you got to get to Miami tonight," right? You fucking figure it out. Like if you believe that, you'd figure out a way to get to Miami. You do what it takes, right? But you don't believe, right? If it was just a hope or maybe or just a good idea, it's something that might happen, might not. You're like, man, I ain't going to Miami. I don't even know if Kim gonna be there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're gonna do. And that's how you attack your goals. Like, man, I don't even know if this is gonna work. I don't even know if I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna go after it like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's your life up to this point. Here's the thing though. This is what's fucked up. You don't go 100% because you don't believe. But if you went 100%, like you don't take action, right? But you need to do that to get the result. So it's like a fucked up feedback loop. So here's how this works. Remember, it's all that can be done each day, right? So if you believe, right? Boom. You take some action, even a small action, right? You're going to get some result, right? Boom. You get some result. You get, hey, all right. And then that may give you more belief or confidence, right? Confidence. And then you take and then you say, "Hey, man, I'm going to take a bigger action. I'm going to try this other thing," right? And now you got more, and you get bigger results. Then you got, even more belief. Then you take bigger actions, and it becomes like it's called a victory cyclone, right? But what happens is this is what my life looks like, right? However, what you've been doing is the opposite. You've been taking no action because you have no belief. And what does that give you? No results. And then it gives you even less belief. And then what is that? What is the even less action? And it works in reverse as well. So you might have to start by increasing your belief so you can take the action. Here's the thing. I talk about this a lot, but if you say, oh, Brandon says the same thing every video, shut your bitch ass up. It's just you. All I want to hear from you is please and thank you. Let's say you got a goal, right? Right. If you're looking at the goal, right, but you're like way far away from it, like where you are now, you're like nowhere close. You can look at that goal and be sad. So motherfuckers tell you to fucking focus on the goal, focus on the dream. Man, that should have fucked you up. That's what's been fucking you up because you're so far away from it and your life looks like shit in comparison. And it looks almost insurmountable. It looks as if you can never obtain it. But what we need to do is instead, right? Because this is the goal. The goal is synonymous with results, right? So the goal is a result. You want these results, but you look at it and you don't have the belief, right? That's because you're looking at the wrong thing. Look at the actions. If you look at the actions and then you just look about what you have to do today, making today all you can do, right? Going hard today, doing all you can do today, then do that tomorrow, right? Then do that the next day. Do it for a whole week. Now you got a victorious week, right? Now, and you do that for 4 weeks in a row. Now you got a victorious month. And you're so much closer to your goal. Do that for fucking 12 months. You got a victorious year. You can fucking change your life in a year of that will change your life. It will put you on the right trajectory. You'll be trending in the right direction. I promise you. Fuck 90 days of that. You can switch the whole trajectory of your life, going all out every day for 90 days. You change your whole life. You got to focus, but you just focus on the action. Martin Luther King said, Martin Luther King once said, hey man, you ain't got to see the whole staircase. You just need to see the first stair, right? Right. Just look at the fucking what's right in front of you. Make today a victory. Don't worry about the fucking big ass goal you're trying to do. Just focus on today. And do that every day. Because your life is nothing but a collection of days. That's your life, a collection of days. So have a victorious day. And have a victorious day every day. And the way you do that is doing all that can be done. And I'm not saying, oh man, I don't give a fuck about your excuses. I don't care what you got going on. That's cool. I'm talking about what you can do within the parameters of all this bullshit you got to do. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's one. Motherfuckers ain't pushing themselves because they don't believe. You got to change that belief. All right. The second thing that's holding motherfuckers back. The second thing I learned that made me rich was don't try to do too many things at once. It's important. This is super important. So, you know what? Before I was like rich, I was only a little rich. And because I was still going hard. The first thing I learned was, hey, do all that can be done each day. And I was doing that. And I was actually fucking, I made, I was making over $1 million a year doing that. But I feel like I was at a plateau and I stayed there for a while. And so what I thought was, oh, I need to do what I hear these other motherfuckers do. Oh, the average millionaire has fucking 7 streams of income. So you could show the screen. And you see it, but like what I realized is he didn't do that shit at once, right? You hear the shit. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income, but they didn't do it at once, man. Nah, man. They didn't start them all at the same time, right? You start one, like this motherfucker spinning the plates. You get that going, then you can start another one, right? Then you don't take your eye off the ball. And and I see a lot of people doing this, right? When they're starting, they have all this is energy in all these different directions. They're trying to do a bunch of different things instead of focusing on one fucking thing. Because how can you go all out in fucking 18 different things? You can't. Right? That, especially if you have limitations like family or all these other fucking crazy ass excuses you guys be using, right? Even if they're valid, especially if they're valid, you gotta focus your energy. It's kind of like when you see, I never seen this shit in real life because I lived in the hood, but I heard motherfuckers in the suburbs, kids in the suburbs would get magnifying glasses and use the sun to burn ants or some dorky shit, whatever. It works though, because what happens is the magnifying glass, it focuses the rays of the sun into one point, and it's so hot that it actually penetrates and starts to burn. Start to get that combustion. But you can't have that if you're spreading yourself thin. Right? And that's what most people do. If you go all in one direction, I promise you, that's how you get the results. So how it worked in my life was, man, I was out here. I had supplement line, and I had just sold one, and I was starting a new keto supplement line. I had a food prep company in New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to be an influencer. I'm trying to be an international playboy. You know, I'm out here making content. I'm trying to be an international playboy. And like all this shit was distracting, right? Shit was distracting, right? So I was like, nah, I need to do this shit. So I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna have one active income goal, and I'm only gonna be with one girl. That was a novel concept to me at the time, right? Put all my energy into one girl. Pause. Have one active income goal, and all my other income goals would be passive. And my income fucking doubled the first year, and then tripled the year after that, because all my energy was going in one place. Now, let me ask you, you motherfuckers who are trying to do 18 different things at once, is it because you're just crazy ambitious, or are you hedging your bets because you're not sure which one is going to work? Because if you knew that one of those would make you a millionaire or multimillionaire, would you really be pursuing all the other shit? It kind of goes back to beliefs. Like I said before, beliefs affect your action. And you don't 100% believe in any one of those things. So you're going to fucking throw 18 things at the wall and see what sticks. I assure you, none of them will stick. Right? Everybody I know who built a lot of money, who made a lot of money, they've built one business first. And if they have other businesses, you can put it on me now. And they have other businesses. They started those like way after. You may be thinking, oh, Elon Musk started Tesla and the space shit simultaneously. Okay. He had already sold PayPal with Peter Thiel and the homies for a few $1 billion to eBay before he fucking started both those companies. And let's not forget about this. He's a fucking genius. So a genius with unlimited financial resources, he can probably do some stuff that you and I can't. You're not a genius. You didn't drop out of Harvard and stop watching my videos. Knock it off, right? You got to do something, focus on one thing at a time. And here's the thing, man, fucking both of those companies almost shut down. It wasn't a smart thing to do. He just was compelled to do it, Tesla almost shut down mad times. Maybe if he wasn't splitting his resources into two different fucking things, maybe he wouldn't have had such a hard time with Tesla, right? I digress. It's not about Elon, it's about you, right? If you believe that one of those things will make you a multimillionaire, you wouldn't have to do all them things, right? So that's the other thing that's holding people back. That's when I started focusing on one thing, I started making way more money. When I started focusing on one girl, instead of trying to be an international, I use the word trying loosely, instead of being an international playboy, I had a better relationship. These motherfuckers talk about polygamy and they want to have like 8 girlfriends and 5 wives. That shit sounds like a fucking nightmare. These people are crazy lunatics, right? And you're gonna have all of them, all that lunacy in your house? Nah, chill. The third thing that helped me become a multimillionaire was I stopped trying to have balance. And I mean that in the traditional sense, right? So if something is balanced like this, right? That means it's equal on all sides, right? It's equal. So how do you get so it's equal on both sides. So there's no extremes. There's no extremes on either side. That's why it stays balanced. How do you get extreme results without extreme effort? How do you do that? If you figure it out, let me know. I've been looking for a get rich quick scheme my whole life. Haven't found one. I'd love to know one if you got it. However, in my experience, extreme results come from extreme effort, extreme actions. But how can you do that and be balanced? You can't. You're gonna have to be unbalanced to a certain degree. Now, I'm not telling you to neglect your family. Again, I'm not telling you to neglect your health. But I am telling you got to make sacrifices if you want to accomplish your goal. See, the average person lives a really balanced life. Hey, they work 8 hours a day, sleep 8 hours a day, and they spend the rest of 8 hours doing a bunch of other bullshit. And it's actually pretty balanced. The average person's life is pretty balanced, right? It's 8 hours a day work, 8 hours they sleep, 8 hours a day doing whatever else, right? If you're really trying to succeed, I think you should tip the scales a little bit on that work side as much as you can, right? Because some of those other hours are going to have to be, dedicated to family, health, etc. And I'm not saying you neglect those things. I'm just saying let's tip the scales a little bit more on the work side, because the average person is balanced. However, this is a real statistic. The average American is 17 pounds overweight and has less than $1,000 in the bank account. That's what being average gets you. These is literally what the average American is like. These are real statistics. So they're doing average shit. Those are the average results. Is that what you really want? That's what balance will get you. It will get you average. And the average person is not doing that great. I don't want to sacrifice my health. This average American is 17 pounds overweight. He's already sacrificing his health. You know what I'm saying? I will still want to enjoy life. The average American has less than $1,000 in his bank account, man. You know what it's like to be broke. That enjoying life shit you talk about, it's escapism because you're not fucking happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's tip the scales more in the work side, right? And recreation shouldn't be the only way you enjoy life. See, here's the thing. Remember, I talked about pushing yourself, seeing what you're made of, doing all that can be done each day. When you start to do that, you can start enjoying life by finding joy and seeing how far you can push yourself, seeing what you're made of, seeing how tough you can be. Because if the only way you can enjoy life is to get high, fuck random people, go on vacations, do all that other shit, there's nothing wrong with that within itself. But if that's the only way you can enjoy life, then that's sad because you can only do that sparingly. So you only get pockets of joy. If you can learn to enjoy pushing yourself, seeing what you're made of, going hard, then every day can be joy. I spent all day today at my desk working. I did not leave. I just spent all day working at my desk. And I'm just as happy as the days I'm on vacation. Because I found joy in pushing myself. These are motherfuckers, you got to enjoy life. That's because they don't enjoy life. So they got to go do all this. They got to do all this escapism. They got to go on vacation. They got to go on a party. They got to do all the other shit. I don't need a vacation. If I go on a vacation, it's obligatory. I'm doing it for my family, doing some shit. It's cool. Like I enjoy myself, but I'm not more happy than when I'm seeing what I'm made of, when I'm pushing myself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what heroes do. Don't you think that motherfucking Bruce Wayne could enjoy life more if he just been a billionaire playboy? Right? I'm sure he could find way better ways to enjoy life instead of training, getting strong, fighting crime, making life better for the citizens of Gotham. When's it time to be the superhero in your story? When you gonna be the hero in your story and make the life better for you and your family? When are you gonna do that? Bruce Wayne wasn't balanced. Heroes aren't balanced. Heroes aren't enjoy life. No, heroes aren't balanced. We never read a fucking story about a balanced hero. Heroes are extremists. Do you want to be the hero of your story or not? Right? Make that decision. Oh, I lost my fucking page. Motherfucker. Oh, okay, here we go. The third thing that helped me, the third habit that helped me become a millionaire, multimillionaire, is avoiding what's called the 3 B's. A mentor told me this a long time ago, man. He went to college. He went to the same college that I went to, and he was kind of like, he was an older dude, and he was kind of like a mentor to me. And he said he started this like a bus company. He had his own bus company. He was doing well for himself. And he said, listen, the key to success is not just doing the things right, it's avoiding the wrong things. And the main things that'll fuck you up are the 3 B's: booze, bets, and babes. And so when he said boobs, he meant booze, he meant like basically drinking, alcohol, and drugs, right? And you know, I don't drink. And I'm not saying you ain't got to drink. Oh, everything in moderation. Hey, man, you can if you want, right? But here's a, oh no, that's the wrong study. Let me pull up the right one. Here's a study that shows that alcohol consumption shrinks your fucking brain. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Hold on. I got another one to show them too. Here's another one that shows this study. You might think, oh, moderation. This study shows there is no safe level of alcohol consumption for brain health. And the reason that's important because there's 2 ways to make money: is with your brain or with your muscles, right? You know, and you know, listen, if you make money with your muscles, you're doing fucking labor and shit, you know, and anybody can lift shit, right? But to really think through complex problems and solve problems, that's where the real money is, you know? And I'm not saying there's not people who drink and are super successful. It's just like, do you want to put yourself in the best position to succeed, or are you trying to see what you can get away with, right? Are you trying to see what you can get away with, right? And then the second B was bets, gambling. And the reason gambling's so fucked up because it actually stimulates, the study shows gambling can stimulate the brain's reward system the same way drugs and alcohol can, leading to addiction. And this is personal for me, right? You know, my dad, he had a real problem with gambling. And he really messed up his life and his business and ended up killing himself, right? Gambling was the culprit. He didn't drink or do any drugs, right? Gambling is what got him, you know? And then obviously drugs, right? I don't think I have to tell you not to smoke crack. If I got to tell you to start to smoke crack, man, then you got problems beyond the scope of anything I can handle on this video. Hey, don't smoke crack. Don't do drugs. But then babes, too. That was the last one. Listen, when I was, man, you know, when I was around 21, there was this movie. It was on DVD. I had the DVD of this movie called Belly, featuring Nas and DMX. DMX inspired me to shave my hair. I started shaving my hair when I was 16 because of DMX. I was a big fan. And there's one point, man, where Nas is talking about he want to go to Africa, move to Africa or some shit and stop being a dope dealer. And DMX said, nigga, what? You listening to a bitch? Bitches will fuck your whole shit up. I don't remember any other part of the movie, but that line, bitches will fuck your whole shit up. And it stuck with me. And then I just keep seeing evidence of this throughout my life. How many people do we know have lost everything because of picking the wrong woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, whether it's divorce and they take half their hard-earned money. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. It happens. Or I've seen guys. I was just on the phone I was just on Zoom with an entrepreneur the other day who hit me up. Man, motherfuckers dying. The sirens, man. Motherfuckers couldn't wait till after the podcast to die. This is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I was on Zoom the other day with an entrepreneur. He said, man, I haven't been working hard. I've been fucked up because my girlfriend broke up with me. That shit happens, you know? Or, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you got the woman shit intact. You one of these red pill guys. You ain't gonna let no girls fuck you up. Oh, what happened to the homie Tate? Right? Who brought him down? Who did his enemies use to bring him down? They went and got girls to do it. Right? I'm just telling you, being around the wrong women, it can really fuck your shit up, man. It can really fuck your shit up. And so you really got to pick the right woman if you're going to, you really got to pick the right woman, which is the fifth thing. The fifth habit that helped me become multimillionaire was picking the right woman, man. I'm gonna tell you, you got and more staying away from the wrong ones. I had a mentor a long time ago, and he told me, listen, Brandon, a man will be as successful as his wife lets him. A man will be as successful as his wife lets him. And I thought that was funny at first, but then I thought about money. That's kind of sad. These motherfuckers fucking wives are stopping them from succeeding, and they get it. And if you, any of you guys who've been working, oh, you work too much, you don't do all this shit, man. Listen, you got to make a sacrifice. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then the goals become the sacrifice. You might have to sacrifice this girl, right? If she's not down with you and your vision, and she's not trying to help you accomplish that goal, then yo, man, you might have to let her go. It's kind of like that scene at the end of the last Batman movie when the dude from Twilight, not the Mexican werewolf, the other one, he was Batman, and at the end he fell in love with Catwoman, right? Boom. I don't know why he's in love. They ain't even fuck yet, but whatever. He was in love, and or maybe they did off screen. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? They saved the city or some shit. I don't know. The city was still looked kind of fucked up to me, but I guess they did some good. And then they looking at each other. She's like, "Yo, man, just come with me to this this other city, man. Do cat shit with me, man. You ain't even gotta be this Batman ass nigga." And he just kind of looked at her, and she was like, "Ah, yeah, I know." And she left, and he left her, man. You could see in his eyes, like he wasn't like fuck these hoes. It wasn't like that. Bitch, I'm married to bitch, I'm married to fighting crime. Crime never stopped. It wasn't like that. It was more like he was hurt, but he did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you do, right? If you with the wrong girl. You know what I'm saying? The homie Hermosi said, he said, one of the best ways to stay poor is to pick a spouse who makes you feel guilty about working hard. That's a bar. That's a bar. I know so many guys, man, who motherfuckers be like afraid of their girlfriends. Motherfuckers, when I do sales, people like, oh, I just got to talk to my wife. I'm like, oh shit, man, I didn't know you were spending her money. Yeah, you got to talk. No, it's not her money, man. It's my money. I just got to talk about it. Like, you got to talk to her about money you made? The fuck is going on here? Only thing I got to talk to my girl. Listen, man, all I want to hear is please and thank you when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking asking permission to spend my own money. Fuck you mean, right? But I get it. A lot of you guys are scared of your wives. You need a girl who's like down with you, man, who's like down for the cause. And y'all really got to be the word partner, right? But you really got to be partners, but y'all got to have the same vision, right? Two partners with two different visions, they're going to be divided. There's going to be division instead of vision. When there's no vision, there's division. So listen, if she ain't trying to grow, the hoe gotta go. You know what I'm saying? She ain't trying to grow, the hoe gotta go. Let her go be poor with someone else, man. Straight up, and it's rare to find a woman who's down with that. I'm gonna be honest with you, super rare to find a woman who's down with that. And if you found one, she's an asset, right? Everyone else is a curse until then, and that's why we got thought repellent coming out soon, so you can stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? You stay away from them thoughts. Listen, I got another video that'll help you build better habits and get rid of bad habits. The link is somewhere right here. Go click it now. Check it out. All right, guys, let's run through these super chats because it's 9. I gotta go. Yeah, you got Cyrus and shit. It's just wild. Right? Okay,
I'm gonna put them quick. So the busy's back is saying thank you BBC for the advice. Like Tony Robbins says, don't look at the wall, look at where you want to go. Thank you, big bro. I will book the flight.
Hey, I'm proud of you, Busy, man. Your dad's gonna be happy to see you, man. Your dad, your family's more important than your fear, man. A lot of mercy.
As a follow-up says, I'm gonna go hard because MLD died for me to have my opportunities. I refuse to be broke because I will be letting him down and all my black leaders.
Yeah. Some black guy got real mad at me because I said that once. I was like, man, Martin Luther King didn't fucking die for us to sit around being poor, man. Like all the people who fucking suffered for us to have the opportunities we had, man. You sitting around squandering with Call of Duty and fucking Pornhub, man. Nah, man, let's make them proud. You know what I'm saying? Let's show that they fought for some good, you know? Some black guy got real mad at me for saying that. I'm like, what? Why are you getting mad at me? If you don't want to do it, that's cool. Be a broke nigga. Shut up. Anyway, what's Bruce Wayne talking about?
And Kikiro is the father I never had.
Oh man, listen. Thank you. Man, who's your mom? I don't think I'm just fucking with you, man. Yo, that's what's up, man. Thank you.
And the last one, Tahir is asking, what are some dope things I can consistently post on my Instagram to develop my personal brand, hobbies, gym, lifestyle?
Well, if you're trying to build your it's too much I can go into now. I wish I could have started earlier, but it's all good. It's not your fault, Nima. That's me. I went too hard on this video. Pause. It's like you got to see who you're marketing to, right? You know, you can't just say I want to build a personal brand. It's like, for what? We not like, I would need more information. Like, we not high school girls trying to build Instagram build social media for fucking fun, right? It's for money. Cash money. Instagram was made for money. Everything is money. Everything was made for money. You know what I'm saying? It's commerce, right? So you got to think of who you're marketing to, who your target market is, and then you got to think about the things that they would find appealing, and then you got to be that person. You got to be like their. Okay, I'll show you something real quick. So when you know who your target market is, it makes it real easy, right? I'm gonna leave with this. So if we go to wait a second, even I'll show it yet because I don't know what's about to come up on my Instagram. Oh yeah, this is I could do a whole fucking day of lessons on this, right? But if we go to cool. When we go to Instagram, to Red Bull's Instagram. What kind of shit do you think you're posting? If you haven't been on this page, you might think, oh, they're posting fucking cans of Red Bull and. No, look what they're posting. I ain't even seen a can yet. All right, here's one, right? But it's like they thinking, okay, what is their target market want? White boy adventure shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. GoPro ass shit, right? That's what they do. So it's not even about the can. It's about this lifestyle. It's about embodying this messaging. And that's why they're a fucking multi-billion-dollar company, even though the shit is gross. Definitely not as good as Celsius. Celsius has more caffeine. It's way better and more delicious. But they have the market share because they own this. Like, they own this segment of the market. This adventure, white boy adventure shit. Red Bull owns that market share. And they know exactly who their target market is. And they're just showing them shit that their target market is interested in. Nothing to do with the can. Nothing to do with the fucking drink. It's just like the lifestyle that their target market is interested in. This is how a $1 billion company runs their Instagram. They're doing it the best. You know what I'm saying? They're like one of the best at this social media shit. As it pertains to their target market's wants, needs, and inner desires. Red Bull ain't got nothing to do with cars, backflips, or does it? Right? You know? Listen, I could do a whole fucking lesson on that. But we are out of time. This has been another episode of That Victory Talk. We do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Can't wait to see you again this Thursday. All right. Oh, no. Make sure you join the newsletter, Big Money Methods, man. Because, because Tuesday and Thursdays, that's not enough victory. You need more victory. So sign up for the newsletter, Big Money Method. It's free. It's free, and it's like a lot of great advice here. You know what I'm saying? Each one of those. Click the link now to check it out. Let's go.